Ladies and gentlemen, while we inevitably wait for the next Nintendo console, currently dubbed the Switch 2, and we wonder how it's going to be, what's it going to play like, there is one question that I've been wondering that finally got an answer, and it's how readily available will this thing be? Are we going to have another PS5, Xbox Series X situation where you have to wait and they're scalpers, or is there going to be a bunch of them? Well, we have a new leak that gives us an answer, and there's some kind of key details you can pick out that gives you a lot more look into this console. So let's go ahead and break it all down. So if you are around, which I'm sure you were unless you're an infant, the PS5 Xbox Series X release was kind of a nightmare. I think it had a lot to do with it coming out near COVID times, but you couldn't just walk into a store and buy one, and that sucked. Me myself, I just got a PS5 for Christmas this year. I didn't get an Xbox until like 6 months after they launched. Like, it took me a long time to get these consoles. Now that I'm a Nintendo YouTuber, of course I want to get this new console day one. And I've been stressing, is this even going to be possible? Well, we have an answer. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me. And I stream Tuesday night and Saturday night right here on YouTube. Come hang out sometime. But let's go ahead and get right into this video. Switch 2 will be easy to find. 10 million of next-gen consoles reported to be made in initial first year. So I was super curious how many Switches were sold in 2017, which was the Switch's first year. And I can't find a direct answer, but in America there was 4.8 million. And that seems like that number would easily be almost doubled. So I hope this 10 million is just for America, because I could see like an easy 8 to 10 million being sold that first year, if not more. Nearly 7 years have passed since the Nintendo Switch debuted in 2017, proving successful for the Nintendo. However, it is hard to overlook the perception that it lags behind in terms of specs and powers compared to its competitors. I used to kind of have a, not really an issue, but a little pushback on this argument, but now that we are in the next generation of gaming, the Switch really is lacking in every single which way possible. It needs a revamp every which way you look at it. Compared to the scarcity of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, if I remember correctly, I don't think Xbox Series S was that hard to find. When I got my first one, I'm on my second one now because I ended up selling my Series S because I just didn't use it. And guys, guess what? My new Series S that I have, I don't use it either, but I think we just walked into Best Buy one day and it was there, and I was like, oh, I'll buy this. But I don't think it was that hard to find compared to the Series X and PS5. The availability of the Nintendo Switch 2 units in stores is expected to be more favorable. Based on updated information from Bloomberg's Takashi Mochizuki, who referred to display shipment data, Nintendo aims to produce more than 10 million units in the console's first fiscal year. Now that I'm thinking about it, 10 million doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. If we sold 5 million in the first year in the US alone, bare minimum we're going to sell 8 to 10 million, like if they're readily available. I would think we would need like 15 or 20 million for the first year easily. Display shipment data suggests Nintendo would make 10 million plus. Okay, that plus right there could mean a lot of things. Is that 10 million plus 10.5 million, 11 million, 40 million of next gen console in initial first year? Unlike PS5 and Xbox Series X and S that faced chip shortages at launch. I still have a theory that it wasn't chip shortages, but Nintendo would be much easier to find at stores. And about an OLED version, Omida says not for this year. I covered that in yesterday's video that all signs are pointing towards an LCD screen, and while I would like an OLED, as long as the like processing power is there and everything else that Nintendo does for a little finessing, an LCD will be fine as long as the graphics are better. I would still like an OLED at some point, but recent data reveals that as January 27th, 32 million Nintendo Switch units have been sold in Japan. Surpassing both Game Boy and Nintendo DS, the Switch is on track to become the best-selling platform in Japan this summer. 32 million consoles have been sold in Japan alone. Let's just say 3 million were sold the first year in Japan. That's probably a conservative number. 5 million are sold the first year in the US. The UK is probably 1 million consoles, or maybe not 1 million, but it's up there. And then all of Europe, maybe another couple million. I'm just guessing. I'm sure you could find an exact number if you look, but I would just assume 15 million, maybe a little less than that, was sold the first year for the Switch. I would expect that number not to be doubled, but maybe 20 million or something like that in the first year I could see being sold. I don't think 10 million consoles is going to be enough. I don't remember how it rolled out. Like, I don't know, in 2017, did it launch in Japan and America first, and then maybe a couple more months in Europe? Like, I don't know how that worked. And then I know, like, other parts of Asia and the Middle East, it's like a lot slower rollout. So I just don't know how all that works. And I don't know if 10 million consoles is going to be enough. Like, at first, the whole point of me making this video was to say, hey guys, guess what? We don't have to worry. 10 million consoles, that's plenty. We're gonna be fine. But my tone has changed since I've made this freaking video. I went from excited to kind of cautious. One thing that they're saying is there isn't a chip shortage, so it won't be the same issues as a PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. I had like the strangest feeling that Sony was purposely like doing supply shortages to build up the hype for the PS5. But that's just a conspiracy that's probably not true. So all the parts should be there for the next Nintendo console, which is a good thing. I know a lot of retailers have started to like make software to where it kind of fights against bots. So that's going to be the only real issue, is whenever this console goes live for pre-order, are they going to be all picked up by bots and scalpers? That's the number one issue we kind of have in the gaming world from a consumer standpoint. It's like, I have money, I want to buy this product. Oh, it's in my cart, let me check out. Oh, guess what? It's no longer in my cart and it's unavailable. It's probably like one of the number one worst things that's happened in gaming in the past couple of years. People are talking about loot boxes and battle passes and all this other stuff. Yes, that sucks. But my number one issue is not being able to buy something when I want to buy it. Like, it kind of gives you a sour taste in your mouth and you're just like, I don't even care about this anymore. Even though deep down you do, but I just can't buy something when I want to. So this is probably the number one thing I hope Nintendo somehow is working out with retailers. Like, when this goes live, it's only one per person and you can probably only purchase one per day or something. Like, I don't know how they would fight that, but I am hoping we get a Nintendo Direct soon. And then once that Nintendo Direct comes, I kind of don't even care about the Direct. It's going to be fun to go over and make videos about, but I'm really assuming we're going to get an actual event in March, like after the Direct. I think in the Direct we could definitely see something saying Nintendo event March 17th or something, and then people are like, holy shit, that's the time that this is going to happen. So I'm just ready to get that Direct out of the way. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this? Do you think 10 million Switch 2s is enough for the first year? I thought I did, but now I don't think I'm so sure. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you could. Once I get some more followers on both of those platforms, I'll start posting daily gaming news. And I'd really appreciate a follow. But you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.